Lisbon, the capital of Portugal, is one of the oldest cities in Western Europe. With a history that stretches back several millennia, archaeological evidence suggests that human occupation of the area around Lisbon began as early as the Neolithic period, with communities engaged in farming, fishing, and rudimentary trade along the Tagus River. Its advantageous geographic position near the Atlantic Ocean and at the mouth of a large navigable river made it a natural point of settlement and commerce. By the first millennium BCE, Lisbon was already part of wider Mediterranean networks. The city's early development is closely tied to the Phoenicians, seafaring traders from the eastern Mediterranean, who established trading posts across the Iberian Peninsula. Around the 8th century BCE, they are believed to have founded a settlement at Lisbon, then known as Lisbon. The strategic location allowed them to facilitate trade in metals, salt, and fish, linking the Atlantic world with the Mediterranean. Later, the region came under the influence of the Carthaginians, Rebels of Rome, and subsequently the Romas themselves. After the Punic Wars, Rome incorporated Lisbon into its expanding empire during the 2nd century BCE. The city became a municipium under Julius Caesar, granting its inhabitants Roman citizenship and fostering its development as an important urban center. Roman Lisbon featured an amphitheater, baths, roads, aqueducts, and a forum, signs of its integration into the Roman world. The Tagus River facilitated the export of local products such as olive oil, wine, and garima, fermented fish sauce, highly prized across the empire. Thus, Lisbon's early history is marked by layers of cultural interaction, from prehistoric tribes to Phoenician traders and Roman colonists. Each left enduring imprints on the city's identity, laying the foundation for its long-standing role as a gateway between Europe and the wider world. After the decline of the Roman Empire in the 5th century CE, Lisbon entered a new phase of its history under the Visigoths, a Germanic people who established a kingdom in the Iberian Peninsula. Known still as Lisbon, the city became part of the Visigothic realm, though its importance diminished compared to the Roman period. While Christianity had already spread during the late Roman era, it gained a stronger foothold under Visigothic rule, leaving traces in religious structures and traditions. However, the Visigothic period was relatively short-lived and politically unstable, paving the way for a new wave of conquerors from the south. In 711 CE, Muslim forces crossed from North Africa into Iberia, rapidly defeating the Visigothic kingdom. Lisbon, captured in 714, came under the rule of the Umayyad Caliphate, and later, the independent Muslim dynasties of Al. Under Islamic governance, the city now called Lisbon experienced significant urban and cultural revival. The Moors introduced advanced irrigation techniques, new crops such as citrus and rice, and fostered a flourishing trade network. The city's defenses were reinforced, and its layout reshaped with winding streets and fortified walls, some of which remain visible in Lisbon's Alfama district today. Lisbon's Islamic era lasted over 4 centuries, during which it became a vibrant hub of commerce and learning, blending Arabic, Berber, Jewish, and Christian influences. This multicultural character would deeply shape the city's identity. Yet, the Christian kingdoms of the north gradually pressed southward during the In 1147, Lisbon was besieged and captured by King Afonso I of Portugal with the aid of crusaders from northern Europe. This victory marked a turning point, as Lisbon was integrated into the newly independent Portuguese kingdom. The city's mosques were converted into churches, but the Moorish legacy continued to influence its architecture, language, and daily life for generations. The 5th, 10th, and 16th centuries marked the dawn of Lisbon's golden age, as Portugal embarked on maritime explorations that reshaped global history. Following the consolidation of Portuguese independence and the Reconquista, Lisbon emerged as the nerve center of the Age of Discoveries. Its strategic position at the mouth of the Tagus River made it the perfect launching point for voyages into the Atlantic and beyond. Under the guidance of Prince Henry the Navigator, Portuguese sailors pushed southward along the African coast, gradually expanding knowledge of ocean routes. Lisbon soon became the hub for expeditions that reached India, Southeast Asia, Brazil, and eventually Japan. Vasco da Gama voyage to India in 1498 opened a direct sea route to Asia, securing Lisbon's place as a leading port in global trade. The city became a crossroads for spices, gold, ivory, and exotic goods, while also serving as a center for cartography and shipbuilding innovation. During this era, Lisbon transformed both economically and culturally. Its wealth funded the construction of remarkable architectural works in the Manueline style, characterized by maritime motifs and ornate decoration. The tower and the monastery stand as enduring monuments of this period, symbolizing both Lisbon's prosperity and its role in overseas expansion. The city also attracted diverse populations, merchants, scholars, and diplomats, making it a cosmopolitan center of the early modern world. However, this prosperity was not without its darker aspects. Lisbon played a central role in the transatlantic slave trade, with enslaved Africans brought through its ports to labor in Portugal and its colonies. This legacy highlights the complex interplay of progress and exploitation during the Age of Discoveries. Nonetheless, Lisbon's maritime achievements cemented its reputation as one of Europe's great capitals, deeply entwined with the beginnings of globalization. Following the grandeur of the Age of Discoveries, Lisbon entered a period of gradual decline during the 17th century. Competition from rising European powers such as the Dutch and the English weakened Portugal's dominance over global trade routes. Although the Portuguese Restoration War of 1640 re-established independence from Spain, Lisbon struggled to regain its former preeminence. Nevertheless, the city remained a vital administrative and commercial hub, benefiting from the influx of wealth from Brazil, particularly gold and diamonds, discovered in the 18th century. Yet Lisbon's fortunes would soon be shaken by one of the most devastating natural disasters in European history. On the morning of November 1st, 1755, an enormous earthquake, estimated at magnitude 8.5 to 9.0, struck the city. The tremors destroyed large portions of Lisbon's buildings, including palaces, churches, and libraries. Many citizens fled toward the Tagus River, only to be engulfed by a massive tsunami minutes later. To compound the catastrophe, fires broke out across the ruins, burning 4 days. In total, tens of thousands perished, and much of Lisbon was reduced to rubble. The earthquake profoundly influenced European thought, raising questions about divine justice, human suffering, and natural causes issues that resonated in the works of Enlightenment thinkers such as Voltaire. For Lisbon, however, the catastrophe also became an opportunity for transformation. Under the leadership of the Marquis of Pombal, the city was systematically rebuilt. New districts, such as the Bexa Pombalina, were designed with wide streets, uniform buildings, and one of the world's earliest examples of earthquake-resistant architecture. This rationale and modern urban planning set Lisbon apart from many other European cities of the era. Thus, out of destruction, Lisbon was reborn with resilience, blending its historic legacy with Enlightenment ideals. The rebuilt city became a symbol of Portugal's capacity to adapt and endure in the face of immense challenges. In the 19th century, Lisbon continued to evolve amid political turbulence and social change. The Napoleonic invasions forced the Portuguese royal family to flee to Brazil in 1807, leaving Lisbon under French occupation until British forces helped liberate the city. After the monarchy's return, Lisbon became the center of liberal revolutions and political struggles that defined much of Portugal's 19th century. The establishment of a constitutional monarchy in 1820 and the abolition of the monarchy in which ushered in the Portuguese First Republic, all unfolded against the backdrop of Lisbon's streets and squares. The 20th century brought further transformations. Lisbon became the stage for the authoritarian Estado Novo regime under de Oliveira Salazar, lasting from the 1930s until the mid-1970s. During this time, the city experienced limited modernization, though some infrastructure projects, such as the expansion of road networks and the construction of bridges, were initiated. The peaceful Carnation Revolution of 1974, which ended the dictatorship, was centered in Lisbon, where military and civilian movements converged to restore democracy. From the late 20th century onward, Lisbon embraced modernization while preserving its historical heritage. Portugal's entry into the European Union in 1986 stimulated economic development, and Lisbon hosted major events such as Expo 98, which revitalized the eastern part of the city with new architecture and public spaces. The construction of the Vasco da Gama Bridge one of the longest in Europe, symbolized the city's ambitions for connectivity and growth. Today, Lisbon stands as a vibrant capital blending tradition with modernity. Its historic neighborhoods, Alfama, Bairro, Alto, and Belém, coexist with contemporary cultural venues, tech hubs, and international tourism. The city is recognized not only for its resilience through centuries of upheaval, but also for its enduring role as a crossroads of cultures, reflecting both Portugal's past as a maritime power and its dynamic place in the modern world.